Metal Star, but you can call me Prophet. Hit me up on Twitter. Yes, they kicked my main account off, but I'm still on Elon Musk toy at 2 Raw for TV Radio. That's the number 2, RAW, the number 4, TV Radio. And tonight, man, it's going to be an explosive, powerful conversation. If you tuned into the 2 Raw for TV podcast of Donut Shop Chop on Tuesday, you may have seen my guest on that show, and he was going in. And we're going to continue that conversation and add a little bit more to it because, it's 2 Raw for TV. But we're exposing the land scam, the buying land hoax, where every acre purchased with the blood of our ancestors. America hands out job titles but keeps land, true power, out of reach from people. Remember Young Thug, Akon, Kanye West, and many more when they tried to build communities and it was snatched away? Because land equals power, and they know it. How can you buy what was stolen through bloodshed? What's the point of a purchase that could be taken away? So tonight we're going to be talking to Notty. He is the host of the No Show. You can hit him up on Instagram at the number 1, MANCAVE. And we're going to break down this discussion and, break down the truth and discuss solutions and much more. You guys call in 470-572-7678. But we're here in 2 Raw for TV Studios, Maya Temple, with the one and only Notty. So, Notty, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, man, Notty, man. That's Hit One Man Cave. Also, you can check out In the Game Network. It's on YouTube, In the Game Network. Also, I have a YouTube channel that's the number 1 Man Cave. Got a couple shows on there. On Mondays at 1 o'clock, we got The Raw Side of Things with comedian Sir Bam Bam. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m., I do In the Game with Sam Mitchell, who was a former NBA player and coach of the year in the NBA. So we got those 2 shows right now. We got many shows coming up on the platform. But, man, I go back with Palmetto, man. Palmetto is a legend. But on the real, when I met you, we were in a place. There was a building. There was a kind of gathering of conscious minds. Yeah. And you were just chilling off in the back. I was in the back, and listening and whatever, and got to talking to you. I'm like, man, this brother is not only understanding. It's one thing. We got a lot of people who claim to be woke. I don't like this woke talk. Yeah. A lot of people that's woke, they ain't really about it. Mm-hmm. It's like the new thing to say. Woke. Man. I'm like, if y'all woke, then I'm just sleep. Let me be sleep. I'm not with y'all alone. But you got a lot of people who talk good game. They act like they know what's going on. They can see what's going on, but their actions don't follow suit. Mm-hmm. And when I met you, I was like, man, your actions was following suit. And you actually helped me out because at that time, I had just gathered some property. Mm-hmm. And I needed to know, how do I go forward with this vision that I'm having? How do I make this happen? Mm-hmm. And you kind of gave me the blueprint on what I needed to do going forward. Mm-hmm. And actually came to help me out as far as cleaning up land and settling on the land. Yeah. So very powerful process. And right. Then you helped with some people that had came through from other parts of the country. Right. You know what I'm saying, at that time. So being a servant, following the orders of the Most High. Yes. It, our brothers and sisters of the conscious community. Mm-hmm. I understood where they were coming from, what lane they were in, and it's my duty to help them out as much as I can. Mm-hmm. And provide whatever I'm able to provide based on the blessings delivered to me by the Most High. It's not up to me to be like, no, like you can, like it's mine. Mm-hmm. It's just like the land. Right. Right, the land. And we're going to talk about that. The land is the part of the planet. Yeah. We belong to the planet. The planet doesn't belong to us. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, that mindset has been lost on the people. And I don't know how many generations past that it's been lost on the people, but it's been lost on the people that we actually belong to this entity as opposed to this entity belonging to us.
Mm-hmm. And see, that's a whole different perspective. Because see, that allows people to sort of be accountable for what they do to the land.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you are of the mindset that this is not your land, but you are, the land is what owns you and anchors you.
Correct.
Then people will be less likely to litter or murder or do any of these things, because now that's a whole different dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, it doesn't matter how many people die, land's going to be there.
Land's going to be there.
Even if they nuke it all the way down, it's still going to be there.
Right. Body will heal itself.
Right.
It kind of, if your mind is in the right perspective of understanding what the land and what the planet relationship is to you, then it can kind of help you define your purpose a little bit better. Mm-hmm. I'm of the belief that your purpose is one or two things. You either here to sustain life on the planet or to destroy the planet. Mm-hmm. Everybody that's on the planet isn't here to sustain life on the planet. You actually have people here whose whole purpose is to destroy the planet. It's no different than the human body. Mm-hmm. You have cells in your body that fight off the cells that are trying to destroy you, just so that they can sustain your life, so you can continue to live a long, prosperous life. Mm-hmm. Under that mindset, it's almost like in the Bible. They would ask in Mark, Luke, John, the New Testament, they would ask Yahshua or Jesus or whatever you want to call him. They would ask him, what is the greatest commandment? And the answer was, love the planet, love the universe with all your might. Mm-hmm. Love yourself, and likewise love others. That would conquer a multitude of sins. You have to love the planet first. You have to love, because you're living inside of your body. Mm. This is the planet is your earthly body, let's say. Then you have a whole world inside of you. Mm. The cells inside of your body are used to sustain your life. You have to be used to sustain this planet life. That'll get you from, like you said, littering, being opposed to a lot of these imperialists, a lot of these capitalists, all these isms, fascism, dictatorships, trying to, drill into the planet to take the resources out of the planet, whether it's the oil, whether it's the diamonds, whether it's the gold, it's the silk, whatever they can get out of the planet. But those things are there for a reason. Yeah. And they continuously are destroying the planet for profit of making money. Mm-hmm. And then you have those groups that are continuously fighting against it. Greenhouse gases, all these different things that are destroying the planet, because we understand that our purpose is here to sustain life. We have to combat these entities that are continuously destroying the planet every day for monetary gain. It's really not helping anybody. You see how the weather has been altered. You see how diseases have seemingly come out of nowhere.
Well, they come from infected bats from Wuhan. That's where all these diseases are coming from.
Right.
And from diseased monkeys. Like what other stories they got?
All the story. But we're not even talking about the 5G, the radiation that's coming from the phone, the Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm. We're living in a planet that unfortunately has gotten very cancerous. And the cancer is spreading. And if you understand how cancer really works, It's a cancer when your cells start to mutate. Your cells start to believe that the mutated cells in your body start to affect the good cells in your body and making them to believe that they're supposed to be a part of the mutation that's going on. And that creates a tumor. Well, it's the same way. This programming that has been set up has gotten a lot of people to believe that there's something that they're not, which is human. That's what we are. We're human. We're not what they're programming us to be. That's why, and I talked to you about this other day, they somehow figured out a way to make people make sense out of things that don't make any sense at all. And the things that make sense, now when people like me and you speak them, that sounds crazy.
Yeah.
And that's wild to me. That's just wild to me.
Yeah, they take common sense and make it to something where it's not common. It's pay bill and do all these things that are anti-Earth, planet, universe, people. You know what I'm saying? Dog eat dog. Get yours. You know, what's that? YOLO. You only live once.
Well, you know
what I'm saying? All that.
And when you get to speaking the truth, it offends people under that mindset. Because let's be honest, man. We got a lot of people, definitely in this country of the United States of America. And I mess with them all the time. But I mess with them in truth. You know, Trump is this and white folks this and that. And I get it. But let's be honest. You talk a lot of stuff about what you don't like. Trump this and they doing this and the government doing this. But you're feeding into it. You're a part of the problem. Because you support their businesses and their products. When you support their businesses and their products with your capital, which is the engine, we're the engine that make capitalism run.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of people don't understand that. They say Trump is racist or these people are racist. Well, racism is a built-in component to capitalism.
Yeah, it's part of the fuel.
Right.
It's part of the whole, like the fuel. If capitalism is gasoline, then you know what I'm saying, like racism is the oil. Like it's you know what I'm saying?
You can't have capitalism without the racism.
Right.
That's what people fail to realize. Like, we're making this thing go. Right. Because we gotta have the Nikes. We gotta have the Chanel. We gotta have the Louis Vuitton. We gotta go eat their food, their McDonald's, their Wendy's. We gotta go to their sporting events and pay for the parking, pay for the tickets, pay for their concessions. We're constantly putting money into their pockets. Okay, what do you think they're doing with this money? What they're doing with this money is they're using that money for their political agenda, which goes against everything that you want to happen. They're putting that money towards everything that you cry and complain about, and you sit there and cry and complain about it, but you're fueling the laws that are getting passed against you with your consumerism.
Yeah.
And then you have the audacity to complain about how these folks choose to spend that money that you gave them. How they choose to regulate laws in this country. How they choose to, whenever they're ready to, come in and swipe up all the land.
And they done it so many times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got Dr. York, Kanye West, Young Thug. These are just examples from now. These are like, you know what I'm saying? But this has happened over and over and over and over and over again. People talk about freedom is in the land. And yeah, that's right. They want to get the 40 acres and a mule, you know, but they want them to give it to them. They want to buy it. They want to pay bills and they, you know, all these different things. But at the same time, that opens that doorway for them to take the land right back. because it's never really there.
It's never really there.
But you got to take your land back, and that's what we're talking about on Too Raw for TV. So you guys, we're going to get off the Instagram, getting off Facebook, getting off Twitter, getting off all these different platforms, because we're talking about taking your land back. And not only just talking about it, we're going to tell you how to take your land back right now in real time. We're not playing. But guess what? You're not going to see this on Facebook. You're not going to see this on Instagram. You're not going to see this anywhere except for Too Raw for TV. Check out the Forbidden Black Honey. Shout out to our sponsors, My Emerald Bee. They got the Forbidden Black Honey. Great for mind clarity. Great, awesome aphrodisiac and pre-workout. You definitely want to get this. It's for the adults, even though it's in this nice child honey bunny honey bottle. But not only that, we have that you're not going to find honey with the comb in it. Not at your grocery store, but we got it. My Emerald Bee. You guys DM me for the prices. So we got one with the comb, which is great for nutrients and great for revitalizing all your body functions. And we got one without the comb. But you guys hit me up on the DM and go to 2rawfortv.tv because the revolution will not be televised. It's only here on 2rawfortv.tv. All right. So we're talking about taking back your land.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to TikTok. Even though you all banned me, I'm a fugitive on TikTok. So you're seeing this face as a fugitive face on TikTok.
Right. Most wanted.
Yeah, TikTok hates me, but I still stay on it. I don't care.
Right.
But so we're talking about taking your land back, and I was giving examples of Dr. York, Kanye, who tried to, come up and have a, he had a community, wanted to have a community. Akon, recently they snatched his land back. He wasn't even in America. It wasn't even in America. Snatched his land back.
Right. Well, a lot of times we talk about, you hear a lot of black people in particular talk about reparations. They want reparations. We want reparations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm all down with that. I was taught they're not gonna give us reparations. You gotta take your reparations. I take my reparations every day.
Yeah.
Too Raw for TV. But reparations. Right. What does reparations look like? And to a lot of our people, and I'm gonna get to some real deep stuff today. Our people, but I'm just right now. I'm here. For our people, you ask, what does reparations look like? Oh well, they should give us $1 million, and we should get, And I'm like, no, that's not what reparations look like. Because if they gave every black person in America $1 million today, in 2 weeks, we'll be gave it right back to them.
Exactly. and most people definitely.
Right. And it'll be the same way. No, the only true reparations in the gain economic power and to be free. And I'm not saying freedom because freedom costs. Free is free.
Yeah.
Freedom. Right. Freedom.
They got that dumb in it. Right. Dome is like domination.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Freedom ain't free.
Yeah.
Free is free.
Yeah.
Remember there was a commercial that was like, free is free. I was like, yes. Free is free. Freedom, and they'll tell you, freedom ain't free. Yeah. They'll tell you.
Right.
Free is free.
Right.
The only way to truly be free and have economic independence is through ownership of land.
Mm-hmm.
The only true reparations is to be given land that's tax-free.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be yours, that you can develop, live on, and then you can be separate from the rest of the people if you want to. Now, true enough, there's a lot of us who don't understand what to do with the land.
Mm-hmm.
So even in reparations, at first, I would only give land to those who understand what to do with the land. And I mean, knowing how to cultivate the land, or at least understanding real estate, because even if you don't understand how to grow crop or how to live off the land, if you can understand how to sell or lease the land, I should say, then at least you could be making enough on a month-to-month, year-to-year basis to live a decent life, if you can understand that. But the people who do receive the land will have to have an obligation to teach others the options of what they can do with the land. You will have farmers that explain to people about soil and about seeds and about weather, the moon, the relationship it has with the land, how to water it right, how to grow your crop in certain seasons. You will have people who understand how to build houses, build greenhouses, build wells, go on the land and teach people how to sustain their land. You will have people who are good at real estate to understand this is how you can lease a section of this land out if you want to bring in. Because if you don't know how to build yourself, then you'll need to hire somebody, or you'll need to have it where if you help me build these things on the land, you can stay on the land. Mm-hmm. You know, almost as a payment. You're right. But that's the only way to be free and to have economic power. Now, the question is, how do you come about really owning land?
That one. Well, look, before you go on this, we're talking to Notty. He is the host of the No Show. You guys hit him up on Instagram at One Man Cave. And do you have that clip, Dre? That clip come?
I'm also on X at One Man Cave.
X on Man Cave. Oh, well, I'm gonna add you on X right now.
Yeah, I'm on X at One Man Cave, okay. And I know you banned from TikTok, but on TikTok. On TikTok, I'm on Enrique James 8. ENRIQUE James JAMES 8, which was also, I think, is still associated with the number One Man Cave. So One Man Cave, just about everything. And on YouTube, I have a channel, One Man Cave, but the channel that I'm building and growing and pushing is In the Game Network. The In the Game Network. So. And also, we do a lot of shows on Built for This radio network, which you can also find on YouTube. Built for This radio network. Got a lot of shows on there, too. A lot of good music. You know, not music celebrating the death and the slaughter of our people. Wow. And demolishing of our...
stuff that they push on Black people. You know what I'm saying? So right. They incentivize... yes, Black people make this music, but it incentivizes the destruction, the chaos, and all of that stuff is incentivized by other entities.
Again, all the people that's out there complaining about Trump this and these people this and they doing this, again, we play a major hand in all of this working out for them. I was thinking earlier today when I was around, I was like, we make a lot of music as Black people, and definitely in the rap industry. But it's not only in the rap industry, it's in R&B and all this kind of stuff too. But a lot of the music that we celebrate and that we push, Black on Black crime, we killing each other, we stealing from each other, we finding a way to be do the most schemes with each other, or degrade our women. You got the women out there degrading themselves, and now they're degrading the men too. And this music gets the green light. And the green light is coming from the oppressor. It's coming from these Caucasian people. When they go up into the green room, they say, what you got? They say, yeah, this is the song I got right here. They hear it. They say, oh, yeah, green light that. Go ahead and push that. Matter of fact, we're going to push it. We're going to give you a tour date. You get to the stadium. We're gonna let you, we're going to put it in all the clubs. We're going to sign an agreement with radio stations. There you go. Have at it. But we never hear the music where our people are talking about, well, we're going to kill the police. We're going to kill the government, the governor. The president ain't working down. The senators ain't working down. These white folk over here across the street, they ain't working down. Let's kill them. Let's get the white broad. Let's make her give us head. We're gonna skeet on her and we're gonna get rid of her. We're gonna throw her in the trash. We don't do that.
Yeah, it is out there.
We only do it ourselves.
Right.
We don't do it, you know? And then it's so bad. Let me tell you how embarrassing it is. We have opened the door to white males to come in to the rap game and talk about killing us.
KKK.
And degrade our women. It's like, yeah, he cool. That's a cool white boy. He snapping. Wait a minute. Hold on. How? Wait a minute. They don't sit right with me.
Right.
Because as soon as you go up into that record producer, that record owner, cabinet owner, and you say, this is the song I got. I'm like, yeah, I'm killing these crackers and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I got the white girl and you show the white girls in the video and they half naked and you treat them bad and you talking about, yeah, and I had to do this to her. I lied to her. I cheated on her. But I got another white bitch on the side that's ready to come in and do X, Y, and Z. They gonna be like, red like that. We ain't letting you put that out. You seen back in the day when I was coming up, Ice-T had Up the Police.
Mm-hmm.
Very controversial.
Yeah.
The white folk like, no, but we will do. Ice-T will let you play a police on TV. And for the last 30 years, Ice-T has been the police.
Wow.
But as far as Up the Police and all that, no. Can't be having that. So it just things I think about it. I don't know whether our people are thinking about it because we're so caught up into it and enjoying it. And then they'll tell me, you just don't like to have no fun. No, I get it.
Trust me. You don't want to have fun with the cool white boys that kill black.
The beats are good. I get it. It's the lyrics that's destroying us. There are kids to listen to. Because at least at one point, we had it where we were conscious enough. Okay, I listen to this music. I know better. I know it's just music. I'm not gonna let my kids listen to it.
Not anymore.
No,
I don't even do that anymore.
No, the kids are 4, 5, 6 years old, as influential as all the world can be, and they're listening to this music now. Definitely, these girls, a lot of these single moms, because they took the father out the house. They're using this TikTok. They're using the IG. They got the little girls on the doing all the dances and saying stuff, and you be like, "Whoa, that's a baby."
Yeah,
that baby is 5, 6 years old, full makeup, mini skirts, twerking. It's embarrassing, and then we have the audacity to complain about what these white folk doing. How? I don't get it. We're not acting like we're what we claim we are. You know, they say, "Oh, we some kings, we some gods." Well, this is not the behavior of kings and gods. This is the behavior of a peasant, of a slave, of a lost soul. And we gotta find a way to get out of it. And I mean, it's truly living in hell.
Well, you know what? There's hell, there's heaven, and then there's what you create. That's to me, that's what it is. Because it's like, you know, heaven and hell are just two destinations. But you create higher than heaven, you create a worse than hell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You create your own world. You create what you want to live in. You know what I'm saying? You're constantly creating every single day just by watching, looking, observing. I mean, these things are part of your creation process as well. You know what I'm saying? And we're creating the world that we live in, exist in. So, you know, people want to live like that. They don't know any other thing. You know what I'm saying? Or choose to not imagine any other day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got an imagination. You know what I'm saying? You got to imagine the nation that you want.
Right. I agree. It's all here. It's the mind. It's the power of manifestation. We've been tricked out of everything, our culture, our true religion, our identity, to the point where they've got us going against our own self. I talk to a lot of people. I talk to, like I said, you got a lot of black people who claim to be woke and this and that. You know, you listen to them, you have conversations, and because you try to fellowship.
Yeah.
And a lot of our people are lost in the religious space to the point where they would say something like voodoo is evil and demonic. Well, you don't understand the nature of voodoo and where it comes from and why they're so afraid of it, to the point where they turned it evil for people to think that this is something. No, it's evil for them. Yeah. Because it was used to fight them off. It was used for Haiti to gain their independence in 1804. You talk about manifestation. Well, manifestation, that's black magic, that's witchcraft. No, it's not. It's your relationship with your consciousness to the consciousness of the Most High to perpetuate the desires of your heart and the way you see things going forward. It's not ritualistic. It's not black magic. It's not anything evil. It's actually something that whether you intentionally do it or not, you always manifesting. Before I really understood the power of manifesting, I had manifested a lot of things in my life through the power of the tongue, the power of the mind and the heart. I didn't know it until I got older and started understanding what manifestation was. When I realized, when I realized everything that had happened in my life, I had caused it to happen. Even before it happened, I had somehow manifested to happen by something I said, something I thought, or some in my consciousness that had said certain things ahead of me. Now, with manifestation, what we have to understand is manifestation is only your goal, but never your plan to how you're going to get to that goal. It's only the plan of the Most High Universe. Because you can say you want a certain thing, and then you can set up a plan for going to get it, and that plan will go to the wayside because you're not smart. Well, as soon as people can understand that they're not smart, then the whole world will open up to them. Because when you can accept not being smart, then you can start leaning on the Most High for information and direction instead of looking to yourself as if you have all the answers when you only have a small amount of information. Right. You don't have all the answers. So when you listen to the Most High Universe, sometimes the Most High have you do something that you like, why would I do that for? Why am I being told to go here? Why am I being told to say this? Why am I being told to go meet this person? Yeah. It doesn't make sense. It's not part of my plan. Of course it's not part of your plan because you don't understand. So you follow that instruction and you go do what the Most High had you to do, you'll come back, you'll be like, man, that was the best thing I could have did. I didn't understand at the time why I was supposed to be doing this, but it all worked out. Yeah. And when that goal is reached, you end up saying, wow, the path that I end up taking to reach this goal, reach this thing that I manifested, that was bizarre. It wasn't the way I would have planned it out. Of course it wasn't the way you would have planned it out because you're not smart. You're not all informed. Yeah. So you have to connect to the source. And a lot of times, I believe we're all capable of being connected, or we all are connected. It's just understanding that you are. You know, you have the Wi-Fi, but do you know what page to go to get the information? And sometimes that's where the stop is, where I think the disconnect is, right? Is not understanding because you just don't have the answers. That's why you lean towards a higher power.
And that's what, in Buddhism, they say, like, the Buddha knows nothing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get to that point. Like, you get to the point where you got all the knowledge, you got everything, but what do you really know? You know what I'm saying? What do you really know? And then you get to that point where, like, I don't know anything, because there's always different levels of understanding. And if you're not learning, you're dying. You're already dead.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're not learning, you're already dead. So there's different levels of awakening. So once you wake up to another level, everything is different. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a dream, right?
Right.
So you can have a dream, and everything seems so real in that dream.
Mm-hmm.
And you know so much in this dream, but this happens in that dream, and this is supposed to happen in that dream, and all of these things. I got this stuff in this dream. Then you wake up, and you're not in the dream anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's exactly how it is. It's like you wake up, all those things you thought you knew. How do they apply to this? What's happening right now?
You're correct. And I always tell people, I'm not smart. They say, "You so smart." No, I'm not smart. Now I'm intelligent. Which means I'm capable of reading, learning, and comprehending and applying.
Mm-hmm.
And there are different levels to that. But as far as being smart, I don't know anything. That's why it's important for me to cite my source, to let you know where I'm getting this information from. Mm-hmm. According to such and such, this is true. Now, at this stage of my life, I'm proud, or I'm glad to be able to say my source is the Most High Universe. I'm just going off things that divine wisdom at this point. Unless I'm, talking about something where I done some research and read some stuff, and I can say, well, according to USA Today, according to the New York Times, this is true.
Right, ain't usually not.
That way, I'm off the hook. I'm telling you what these folks said.
Right.
And if you find them credible, then you can accept their information as truth. But I still don't know. You know what I'm saying? They said this.
Yeah.
But we really don't know anything. The Neil Tyson deGrasse, what is his name?
Neil Tyson deGrasse.
Yeah, the astrophysicist. Yeah. I think he's a very intelligent person. He's one of the most intelligent persons I've listened to. And he was talking one day, I was watching one of his videos, and he was saying, as a whole, as all the people on the planet, we only have 4% of the information. There's 96%. That's everybody together. If you take everything that everybody knows, all the information that we all have together on this planet, we only have 4% of the information. 96% of the information is unknown. There's a black hole out there with the other percent of it. And I believe that to be true. It's so much we don't understand, and I just don't understand how, and I hate to offend people, because people are always like, "Oh, my child is so smart," and I'm like, "No, you're not smart. Your child ain't smart either." So you might have an intelligent child. You might have an intelligent child, meaning that child can comprehend things and apply it. That's why you have little 4, 5, 6-year-olds who can listen to some rap music, watch you do some dances, and they can pick it up like that, and they know every word to the songs, and they can do the dance just as good, if not better than you. They have a high level of intelligence. But if you're so smart, why are you in the condition that you're in?
Paying bills.
If we so smart, why are we as a whole in the condition that we're in?
Right.
Why ain't we figured it out? It's because you're not smart. And that's okay. Because going to divine wisdom, when you can go into Proverbs, the person who believes they're smart is actually lacks all wisdom. The first sign of wisdom is understanding that you know nothing. So we just gotta understand that and start to connect with our higher level of consciousness. And that's what we're not doing because we're so caught up into the programming and into that consciousness. We're connected to that and we're disconnected to what we're supposed to be connected to, which is the real source.
Mm-hmm. Right. I definitely feel that. Yeah, that blank canvas. Definitely, we disconnected. We let other people draw our picture, tell our story. You know what I'm saying? Create their narrative, create our narrative through their words.
Right.
And that's what we stopping today on Two Rover TV. Because there's some things that I already know some of these things. But sometimes, when we're talking about real things, because you alluded to it, people be like, "Oh man, that's not real." You know what I'm saying? Because it's so far out of the reality.
Correct.
And we're talking about taking back your land. So what's some things that you experience, but other people just it goes outside of the realm of reasoning and thought and experience. You know what I'm saying? As far as in your journey, but taking your land back.
Well, and we talked about this earlier in the show about talking about things and actually doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing about me is I don't just talk about things because the Most High Universe didn't give me this information to just talk about it. Once again, I'm not smart, but I do believe I'm highly intelligent. Mm-hmm. Meaning I'm capable of learning, comprehending, and then applying what I've learned. And so if the Most High give me information and I comprehend that information, well, the only way that I can prove that I've comprehended that information is to apply it. Mm-hmm. It's actually do it. And so a lot of people, and I talk to a lot of people, definitely outside of the conscious community, which I don't do it often because it's just hard for me to be around people who are outside of the conscious community. Yeah. I'd rather just spend time to myself, you know what I'm saying, until I can get around other conscious minds because the truth offends. And they be like, well, what are you doing? And then once I start explaining some of the things I do, it's like they don't believe it. Or they're like, how are you doing this?
Right.
And it's sometimes difficult to explain to them. It's the connection with the Most High. The Most High is doing this. I'm just a vessel that's being used to do these things. Mm-hmm. So we talked about earlier when I first met you. The Most High had given me the information, owning land mm-hmm. ownership. Mm-hmm. I had just met you. I had just taken some land. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
take your land back.
Right. I had just taken some land and I was speaking on how sometimes the Most High tell you to do something. You're like, why would I do that for? Right. Like, are you sure that I should? But if you believe in it, you trust in the Most High, you don't question it. Mm-hmm. You just do it. Even if you do have questions, you still follow through. Mm-hmm. So when the Most High told me to go get this land, I got this land right here for you. I want you to go get this land, and I got a plan for you in this land. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. And I was talking to a young lady who sent me to this meeting. I had no plans on going to this meeting or meeting you or anything like that. But this is how I'm not smart. I can't plan this out. Mm-hmm. The Most High has to plan this out. Right. This is what I want you to do. Go with her. Go to this meeting. Sit here. You see that guy right there next to you? I know he looks strange. He seems strange. Open up a conversation with this guy. Talk to this guy. Okay. So how do I go about? Now I'm getting information. The Most High using you, your consciousness. Our country is connecting. Okay, this is how you do this. Okay, now let me go apply this information once again. Because I comprehended what you were saying. Let me go apply this. Go apply this to the land. Change the laws. Clean up the land. Fix it up. Do everything I need to do. Bam. Next thing you know, I have land. I claim land. I claim land with the power of the universe. You know, in the time that I've had this land, I've actually had people come try to take the land.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I had people try to. I ain't went to court about the land, and the judge told them leave him alone with his land. You see, it sounds unreal.
Yeah, and they can't take that. They can't. It doesn't come
right. So when you talking to people, when I talk about ownership, I'm really living it. Like I own my car. I own my truck. I own my own business where I work. I work for myself. I own my own business. I own my land. Yeah. Like this is the mindset that we have to have to be free and for economic freedom. Now on this land, I can grow what I want. I grow crop. You know, I've had kale. You know, I'm still figuring out a lot with the gardening and growing stuff. I like to grow different things because even with flowers, they're medicinal. You know, growing the herbs that are medicinal that help heal a community. You know, growing food. These are all things that we should be doing with the land, even if you paying rent on the plot. You're paying so that you can do whatever you want to do with that plot of land. What do? We have grass growing and we just cut it every 2 weeks or so. But that's good dirt under there. Right. That's good soil. Right. You can grow food on your lawn. Your lawn is your farm.
Your lawn I like that.
Yeah, your lawn is your lawn
farm. Is your farm.
Right.
Capitalism. Right. Make that a t-shirt.
Right. Right. Even if you don't grow food. Even if you don't grow food.
I like that.
You can grow medicine. You can grow linen. And use that linen to make clothing. Everything on this planet that is made, that is produced, comes from land. It all comes from a plant. Everything. That's why they understand the importance of owning land. That's why they're going all over the world taking people's land from them. Right. So they can make jeans, sweatshirts, socks, bottles to put stuff into. So they can make furniture. So they can make wood so you can frame your houses. So they can make the roofing material. So they can make the flooring material. So they can get the oil for your engine to run. So they can make gasoline. So they can make a motor. So they can make nails and screws. Everything comes from the land. And the more that they can own, it's all profit. All they have to do is what they like to do ever since slavery is invest in cheap labor. Either they'll have somebody working the land for free, or they'll get somebody there to work the land for a very low cost.
That's almost like free.
It's almost like free.
Yeah, that's why they do with capitalism. So the prices they're paying these people is so little.
Yes,
it is free.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? So right. That's how they keep the slavery thing going.
I mean, when you talk about them making tennis shoes in these Taiwan sweatshops, but they paying these kids $2, $3, and then you get the shoe over to the country and you sell the shoe for $200. Well, if you sell 5 pair of shoes, you done paid them off for the 20,000 pair that they sent over. So everything else is all profit. And then you wonder why you're at an economic disadvantage. Because you don't own any land. You're paying them for the right to access the land. Our mindset is so thrown off. You know, you'll hear people say, "Oh, that's my car. I got a nice car." No, you don't have a nice car. Them folk got a car. They're allowing you to drive the car for fee every month. And you pay them $400-500 every month. They'll let you keep driving the car. Soon as you start paying that $400-500, $600, guess what they gonna do? They're gonna ask you nicely the first time. They're gonna say, "Will you come return the car to the dealership that you took the car from?" And you ain't gonna want to do it because in your mind you somehow tricked yourself into believing that it's your car. But it's not. It's not your car. So eventually they send somebody out and just come pick the car up.
Nowadays they can drive it, so
now that's called a repo man. A repo man come, he'll latch it on, or now like you said, they'll just lock you out the car.
They'll just turn the thing on and drive itself to
right there to the dealership, and they'll see who else want to come pay for this car for $300-400 a month. And you don't own that. You don't own your house. You can get a $2 million house. Pay it off. $2 million. Now you got property tax. Let's say the property tax is $10,000 on a $2 million house. You done paid the $2 million off. Let you not come up with that $10,000. Well, they gonna say, well, they gonna go to the courthouse. They gonna auction that house off to the highest bidder. If the highest bidder just got $10,000, your $2 million house just went for $2,000 for $10,000.
Wow.
You only leasing that land because the truth of the matter is, and I hate it to be this way. The truth of the matter is, they took that land, and therefore, what we were talking about earlier, reparations. If you own land, if you really own land, what you can do with it, you can lease it out. Well, they didn't took the land; they just leasing it out to you,
right?
For as long as they want you to. As long as you're in good standing with them, as long as you got a good relationship with them,
right,
they'll allow you to keep paying money, which is all profit, and allowing you to stay on that land. Now, soon they want to get you off that land. What do? They send men to your house with guns and badges, and they just start throwing your stuff out the house on the side of the street. Right. And they tell you got to get up out of here. Right. And you can resist if you want, but then you're in danger of being shot and killed. In other words, they're going to go to war with you. Only difference is you don't have an army, and they do. So you're going to come up out the land one way or the other. And no matter how you end up coming off that land, whether you surrender and you just walk off the land, or it's through bloodshed, they're going to take that land and they're going to lease it out to somebody else. Because truly, there are only two ways to have land. Only two ways. And buying it is not one of them. That's not, you can't buy land. I'm sorry. I know this sounds crazy to y'all, those of you who are not in the conscious community, and some in the conscious community. Yeah. Because see, what I've learned is, and this is to my conscious brothers and sisters, you know, I understand that you're conscious and you have a connection to the Most High, but sometimes it's hard to face the truth, the hard truth. And they'll say, I've heard conscious people say, well, we got to pull together and we got to put our money together and we got to buy this land and we got to do it. Okay, I hear that. It's all sounding good and dandy. You know, you buy land, you better be willing to protect that land and stand on that land once you have secured that space. I feel you. But to think that you own that land because you got your money together and put it together and purchase some land, it don't mean that your land.
Well, hold on. Let me show you proof of that. Dr. York's proof of that. Akon is proof of that. Kanye West is proof of that. And the list goes on and on. You know, like you said, you got to be in good standings with them. So you could have the money. You could have more than you could have 10 times the money. But if they just don't like you, if they think you're going to be doing something radical,
right?
If they think that you're going to go outside of what they're creating or help other people go outside of what their parameters and boundaries and the rules and regulations are,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And you're not getting good standing. Your rent could be 500. You could have 20 million, and they'll be like, "No, you're not in good standings. You still don't."
Right, right. Just because you have money don't mean you can buy in. You look at the NFL.
Yeah.
They'll sell a team. They'll have a team for sale. We're selling this team $1 billion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can have Palmetto. You can have $3 billion. You can go there and say, "I want to buy the Denver Broncos." Matter of fact, I know you're asking for $1 billion. I'm gonna give you $2.
Right.
Those owners are gonna have a meeting. They're gonna say, "Who y'all know him?" You know what I'm saying? They're like, "Yeah, no, we don't know. We're gonna do some research on it. Do some research." Oh man,
no.
Your money no good.
Right.
They'll send it to somebody else who they're in good standards with. They have a good relationship. Somebody who's gonna play the game with them the way they want to play the game. If they let you in, you're gonna change the league.
The game's over.
Right. So they're not gonna let you in, even though you have the capital that they're asking for. It's the same way what you're talking about with the land. Okay, we'll let Kanye buy the land because he's making the good music and our people like it, and we like it, and we don't. As far as we know, he's a good Christian brother. That's what we know. Then they sell the land and they get the. Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Kanye is doing all kind of stuff that we're not for.
Yeah.
He's trying to wake people up. He's doing too much for his community. You know what? I know he got the funds. We gotta go in there. We gotta get the land back.
Yeah.
Because I'm okay with you having money. We print money up every day. The money is not even bagged by resources anymore. It's not even bagged by gold, silver, copper, brass. You know, we just print up money based on the value that people put on it. We'll give you money. That's fine. But that land is valuable. Yeah. Any piece, an acre, a half an acre, that's valuable. That's true economic power. You're gonna be free. Well, that ain't what we're trying to do.
Right. And that's another point is like the young thug, right? So they supposedly had information of them doing all these things in Atlanta, all these shootings and all that stuff like that.
Right.
They had all this information, right? Had all these things. But when did he really get in trouble for it? When he got that land.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When that's when they but you're doing now we want to swoop in and come in there and all that stuff like that. And that's when because he got
because he was a threat. He was a threat of creating a militia, an army, a following. And anytime you have a militia, an army, a following of people, now you're a threat to go to war. Well, one thing the United States don't want to happen is a domestic war. We'll fight. We'll go over to Iran and fight a war. We'll go over to wherever Africa, any country in Africa, one of the 54 countries in Africa. We'll go to Australia. We'll go anywhere on the globe. Vietnam, wherever. We'll go fight there. But the Civil War kind of showed them they don't want to fight here. And anytime you have a threat of a war being fought here, especially if it comes from within, then they have to shut that down immediately because that's a threat on land. Because see, they understand what they did.
Yeah.
They don't want what they did to happen to them.
They don't want they don't want that replicated with nobody else.
Right. So because they don't want that to happen to them, they have all their defensive mechanisms up to combat that.
Well, we could go in on this. I want them to let them know about the No Show, where they can find it at, and a little bit about what's going on, what you got going on there.
Okay. Well, the No Show is maybe come back in August with myself and Arlie Michelle. But right now I'm doing the raw side of things every Monday at 1:00 on the In the Game Network. It's also at One Man Cave on YouTube, built for this radio network. We're on Amazon Fire and Roku as well.
Okay.
That's Mondays at 1:00. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:00 we do In the Game with Sam Mitchell. He was an ex-NBA player, played 13 years in the NBA, was a head coach in the NBA, won Coach of the Year in 2009. So he actually gives you perspective from somebody who's been in the game and understand each level of the game, from player to coach to front office. And through that, we're also transitioning to a lot of real life topics, whether we talk on the flood, we talk on what's going on in our communities, how to not allow the government to trick you all the time and trick you out of stuff that's yours. So Tuesdays and Thursdays we do that. So that's In the Game Network, which I'm really trying to push. That's a channel that I have. We got more shows, different shows, all kinds of types of shows to come going forward. And we definitely pushing In the Game Network. Also, One Man Cave. You can find me on X at One Man Cave, and you can find me on IG at One Man Cave, and also on TikTok at One Man Cave. So that's a lot of what I'm going on. I don't know how much time we got.
Oh, well, we don't get any time right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we get.
Well, let me just say this real quick before we get out of here. 2 ways to really gain land. You either have to inherit land or you have to take it. There's no buying no land. So, and like I said, in the conscious community, a lot of times it's hard for a conscious person to accept that you can't buy land. You have to take it, because then they realize, even with all that talking they do and the consciousness and doing this, well, you don't have an army. So unless you're favored by the Most High and given direction on how to go take the land, it's going to be hard for you to take land, which means it's going to be hard for you to have land. You can trick yourself into buying something you want and believe that it's yours. And I'm not saying don't go buy land. I'm just saying understand and be accountable for what you're doing, understand that that's not your land. And anytime they're ready to go to war with you and take it back, that's what's going to happen. If you don't have an army and you're not willing to die for that land, then just understand that it's not yours.
Yeah, it's just another. To me, there's a level of consciousness, or there's a line between consciousness and escapism. I think a lot of our people are in this escapist mind state and using the consciousness as sort of like a veneer of that. You know what I'm saying? But it's escapist mind state. Oh, I'm gonna just do this and be able to elevate my state out of pink power terrorism, aka white supremacy. No, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta take the land. Take your land back. Take your land back. That's what we're talking about tonight. Check out Notty, One Man Cave on all platforms. He's definitely doing this thing. Next week is going to be an amazing Two Rover TV podcast. We have huge news coming, and I wanted to say something this week, but hopefully I'll be able to say something next week, and it's going to change everything. But we got events coming up August, so check out, clear your calendars right now for the 30th and 31st. We got some artists that are coming through to Atlanta that you're not going to believe, and so much more. But I just want you to spread the news, awaken others, and win the revolution within. It's Too Raw for TV.
Blog Talk Radio / 2 Raw for TV, man. Too raw, I'm too raw for TV.